Shut up and sit down.
Greetings, fellow Earth travelers. Oblyx here, and welcome to the very last episode of Project Ozone Lite. How y'all doing today? So, kind of sad days, kind of happy days. Today is going to be our last episode of Project Ozone Lite. We have done basically everything there is to do in the pack, and it is time to move on to something new and exciting, something fresh. I'm ready, folks. I'm ready to have that first day Minecraft again, where you start out in the new world and punch some wood. So, I figured, since this is our 90th episode, and in our last episode, we got our last achievement, this is a good place to wrap it up. And I thought, there's a couple more things I could do, but it's really just kind of faffing about at this point because, we've done everything. We've done all there is to do in the world. Everything's easy for us now. We have all the automation, and, it's nothing more than programming up a pattern and saying, give me a bunch of this stuff. So it's just, this is the point where it starts to get boring for me. I'm an automation guy, and all the automation's done. So all that's left now is building, and I'm not a builder. It doesn't do it for me. So I think we're gonna call it here. But I figured we'd take a little world tour and see what all we've built this season on Project Ozone Lite. So we're gonna try to visit all the places we've worked on that still exist. A lot of them have been moved or don't exist anymore. So obviously this is where we started out. Mirrusky and I started right up in here somewhere with our original opening way back on episode 1. We're on episode 90 now, so that was 90 episodes ago. Golly, that's a lot of episodes. And she went off this way to the green UFO, I guess, and I went off this way to the blue one. So this one's mine. And first thing we did, we put where Vasky and Aiden Brady are honored. We did this way back on episode 1. Vasky, of course, the creator for Botania, as well as several other mods. And Aiden Brady is, of course, the mod creator for Mechanism, two of my favorite mods. So we zorped on over to our tree, which we've promptly torn down. I don't remember in what episode we did tear it down, but we tore it down fairly early on. I don't know, maybe 20 or 30 episodes in, we were able to start tearing it apart. It eventually became more than a tree and a big old platform, spawn platform, where we were getting a bunch of fluid cows that we used to build our first major farm. Well, I guess we had a early farm to make these guys that is since no longer. But let's pop on into the Nether, into our cow farm. We actually don't even have a Nether portal anymore. It's just not necessary. We have a teleporter. So pretty early on after we got cows, we built this guy, and I'm going to go upstairs because we started out up here. And we kind of started right here. Now we are in the Nether. I will show you right here. You can see nethery bits. Okay, we'll put you on the wall. And what we did was we designed this inside of a chunk. If I turn on chunk borders, you'll see the edge of the chunk right here. You'll see it against that wall, ends right here, and then goes over into this chunk here. So this is 2 chunks of the Nether. We've turned into a cow farm. Now we have liquids on this side and solids on this side. And this is where we're getting tons of metals and fluids. And then if we go downstairs, this is where it's processed. But if we go down again, we'll see a whole nother pen of cows. Again, fluids over here, metals over here. So osmium, energized glowstone turns into actual glowstone blocks. Liquefact coal, so that just becomes coal blocks. So much good stuff. Hooch and liquid XP. Most of this we didn't even use. But so much stuff available to us. And then here in the middle, this is where it all gets processed. So we're using mechanical users to collect it and pulling it up into these tanks, and then these tanks are putting the liquid into drums and just filling up drums for us. So we get tons and tons and tons. Like that's destabilized redstone. That'll actually turn into redstone. And gelid cryothium, heavy water, crude oil, blue slime, just so much stuff. Liquid XP, whatever. We got it all. And then down here on this side is where we're turning the liquid that's pumped out of the cow. We're putting it into tanks and then turning it into metal. You see it turning it into the ingots up here. Or blocks in the case, like the coal is turning into blocks. And you see it just processes, but always. It's always on. It sends everything down to this chest. This chest then gets absorbed into our applied energistic system right here. So that is the cow farm. Now, in addition to the cow farm over here, get out of the way, piggy. We did also build a blaze farm. Let me turn my magnet off. And it's very simple. We built it pretty early on, and it's just a restored spawner. We found that over in a fortress. I think it was that one right there, back that way. Hit it with a drop of evil, brought it over here, and set it so we can turn it off if we want, or on if we want, and it'll spawn blazes. They get dropped down in there and murdificated, and then we get all their bits, which are sent back to the overworld. And again, sent back into our applied energistic system. So that is pretty much all we've built in the Nether. We've done a lot of flying around and digging and a bunch of other things, but that's all we built in the Nether. We had a horrible Nether spawn actually. You see where I've done a lot of digging, but nothing else of any importance was here. So let's get on back to the main structure. We'll go to the purple dome. Now, this is part of, here's where we came through. This is our portal back to the main area. This is the crystal. We just built this a couple episodes ago. After we tore down the tree and the platform, we built this giant torus right here, big donut. It was all the way around. We used the RF Tools Builder, and I did talk about this a few episodes ago. After that, we built the domes, one on each corner, and each one's a different color and does a different thing. So purple is storage, blue is resource gathering, red is automation and machinery, and green is Botania. Then we built the towers, these guys right here. We go up and down. I love these towers. They came out so well. So we've got, let's see, one that is right. That one is our mechanism reactor. This one is a mob farm. This one is an extreme reactors reactor and turbine now as of last episode. And this guy is our mystical agriculture farm. So these guys, the four, are just constantly working to produce us resources. So if we go in the torus here, we'll take a little walk through. And I wanted it to have kind of a space station-y feel. There's actually a lower level. So here's our mystical agriculture farm, our tower. you see we're growing all the Pam's Harvest Craft crops here to collect every single one of them. So there's nothing we can't make food-wise. If we go up to the top, we've got a small mystical agriculture farm. This was our first one. Just producing nether stars and redstone and dark steel and terra steel and all manner of stuff. Then if we go back down, we're back at the original level as the Taurus. Then we go down again. This is a tree farm. And this guy produces a ton of wood for us. It's actually, if we go down again, that's another mystical agriculture farm for when I needed more material than the top farm was producing for us. So I created a second one down here. Mostly just gold and redstone and stuff like that. Let's turn this tree farm on so you guys can see what it does. And that's a switch right there. I put that in so Mirrusky could use it if she needed wood. We just turn it on, pop down, and you'll see it's already producing. I mean, it takes no time and it starts producing trees at a crazy clip. And then the harvester will come through and harvest them all. God, it goes so fast. It's actually kind of fun to watch from up here, I think. And you see the harvester just kicking in and going to town and getting all the goodies for us. So this thing has been super useful for any time we need wood. And we'll turn him off and keep heading around. Now I did do some decorations in here. I'm by no means finished. Obviously there's a big old gap right there. I did a few little thises and that's, little nether one here, little water feature here. There's our purple dome. We'll get into that in a minute. A little campsite. I really like the way the campsite turned out. I think that came out really well. So this is our Mechanism Extreme Reactor. Or not Mechanism Extreme Reactor, just Mechanism Reactor. If we take a look at this guy, boy howdy. This took, I think, 4 episodes to build, if I remember right. And all done in survival, of course. So we've got 8 of these thermal evaporation plants. So 6 are producing brine and 2 are producing lithium. And it's combining here in the middle. The lithium is then being turned into liquid lithium, then being turned into tritium, which is the blue gas right there. And of course we're storing extra as well. Then we're picking up heavy water using these pumps, turning it into deuterium, and feeding that into the reactor as well. So then we've got the reactor down here, which is always running and producing about 5 million RF a tick currently at its current rate. Now these are the lasers that started up. I've got them unplugged right now because they don't need any more power. They're already full. See, it's totally full. 2 billion RF sitting there ready to go, or 2 giga RF. So all that power is just being dumped into our massive induction matrix. This thing right here. This is a monster battery. And it's getting power from multiple sources. So this is our ZPE farm, which we'll take a look at in a little bit. This is our extreme reactor, which we'll take a look at in a little bit. This is from the mechanism reactor right there. And of course these are chaotic solar panels, which produce quite a bit of power in the daylight. It's not daylight, so they're not producing as much right now, but when it's daylight they're producing a lot of power. And this guy holds an unbelievable amount of power. He's almost up to 500 tera RF or trillion, and he's again getting 6.8 or 6.5 million RF per tick right now. He can usually get up to 10 to 12 depending on the daylight conditions for those guys there. But just an absolute beast. He's got about 6 more rows worth of cells we can load in on the inside, but honestly I can't even fill up the cells I got, so what's the point in adding more? I actually have I think 68 stored in my crafting system right now that I could drop in there, but there's, like I said, there's no point because I can't fill up what's there. Moving along, I built a little crystal structure that I think turned out pretty decent, and our little house. This is my house. This is my bed. That's where I respawn if I die. Got a little storage chest here with nothing in it, crafting table, a little furnace right there. Perfect little Minecraft house, and I think Mirrusky left us a letter. And for whatever reason, I can't open the mailbox. So there you go. No letter for us. Blue dome, we'll get into that. Built a little gazebo here. A nice little bridge over troubled waters. I like that. And then here is our mob farm. And boy, howdy, does this thing work like a dream. All the material. So I've got multiple spawning platforms up there. You can see them through the little slit right there. Now this is special glass. This is glass that doesn't allow... Actually, this is just regular old glass. I thought I did dark glass, but I don't think I did. So, but you can see it is dark up there. It stays dark all the time, but it is open up to sky all the way at the top. But I do have dark glass up there, so it's not letting the light through. But it's causing the baddies to spawn, and they drop all the way down here. We'll follow them down. I've got some witch water there, so the ones that fall through here will turn into alternate mobs. So spiders turn into cave spiders, creepers turn into charge creepers, skeletons turn into wither skeletons. And then any that don't land through the witch water just go straight on to the slime blocks, and they all bounce, and because of the fan get blown against this wall and murdificated by those grinders right there, which are fully upgraded with all the goodies. It's then sucking out the bits and bobs into that chest. Yeah, you can see this guy's just constantly collecting things and sending it into our refined storage system, applied energistic system. So it's been a really good mob farm for us, and I do love sitting here and just watching the mobs bounce up and down. Sometimes I'll just fly like right about there and just do. It does become a bit of a slideshow. A lot of entities for the system serve to keep up with. Another little river here. And some trees. Cool water fountain. I do love this water fountain. I think it turned out really well. Our red dome. We'll get into that in a minute. And we keep coming along. And over here is one of the first things we built after we built this structure was this guy, this extreme reactor, because we needed a lot of power. And here he is. 9 rods, and it's just been generating power since we built this thing, which has been a long time. Recently, last episode, we added the turbine up here. So it is converting. We've switched it from passively cooled to actively cooled. So it's now shipping the turning water into steam, sending the steam up here, turning it back into water, sending it back down there. Never-ending cycle of loop-diddy-loop, and just producing a good amount of power for us. So we can see it ended up at about 874 RPM. We probably should squeeze a little bit more speed out of that. But whatever, it's producing 500,000 RF per tick almost, so it's pretty darn good. Come down over here now. Mirrusky actually built this because it reminded her of her home growing up in Costa Rica, which I think is really cool. So she's got a little cart and some critters, little houses here. I think it came out really nice. Little parts for the cart. Welcome to a little corner of Costa Rica in the early 1900s. It's very cool, very, very cool. And then we're back to where we started. So if we hit the green dome, this is our Botania dome, and this is where we fight the Gaia. That's the arena. I've got a little sheep farm in here, a little Botania-based sheep farm, or wool farm, I should say. And then, of course, automatic mana production, and all the little bits and pieces needed for Botania are sitting in here. Now, I had plans of building a great big machine right here, which is why I left this open for mana production. I'm not going to do it in this series. It's just not necessary. Like I said, we've done everything this past pack has asked us to do. And I could build the machine, but what's the point? I'll save it for another series when it actually means something. You know, right? If I did it now, there's no meaning to it, and that just seems pointless. So, if we come around over here, so we really didn't end up doing a whole lot with the green dome. Not nearly as much as I wanted to originally. Now here's the purple dome. We spend a lot of time in here because this is all of our storage. And you see it's double-sided and just storage drawers everywhere. All these storage drawers are connected into our applied energistic words out of my mouth into our applied energistic system, which you can see right there. All our controllers right there, a bunch of crafters. All these are crafters. These are all crafters, crafter, and Big Bertha's hiding off in the corner back over there. And then here's all the crafting cards are all in here, or all the recipes are in here. Very cool. We got an RF Tools dimension set up over here, so we can go to different dimensions if we want. If we pop downstairs, you'll see Big Bertha hiding over here, and boy, she's a mammoth. And there ain't much she can't craft. And then, of course, we got all the smaller crafting units over here. And then, of course, our rings that will send our applied energistic system signal out to other sites. Of course, our disk drives for stuff that's not in the drawers. Auto crafting for applied energistics, security, crystal growth right there. It's a little bit of automation in here, but not a lot. And consequently, the only dome with an elevator. I never got around to putting elevators in any of the other domes for some reason. If we truck on over here, I could take the Zorper, but whatever. This is our blue dome. We never did a whole lot in here either. We did set up neutronium collection right here. And of course that's just zipping into our applied energistic system. And we did set up 8 times cobblestone production right here. So if you check the back here, you can see it just load. Every one of these produces cobblestone, sends it into here, which, you know, doubles it, triples it, sends it over here. And then just keep going till it gets to octuple compressed right there, where it pulls it back into our applied energistic system, so we can get lots and lots of octuple compressed cobblestone right there, which has a huge Project E value. And then if we keep cruising, hello mobs falling out of the sky. And here's our red dome. We spent a lot of time in here too. So this is portals for our other dimensions, the deep dark, the mining dimension, the end. All of our mystical agriculture plants come here to be processed, or the essence comes here to be processed before it ends up in our applied energistic system. This is a 5 times ore duplication machine. So if you put an ore in here, any ore block, it will put 5 ingots out right there. And there's a spaghetti sauce of mess underneath here to make all this work, and I'll show you that in a second. This guy makes us clay. This guy can produce us villagers. This is Draconic Evolutions Crafting. This is our old Tinkerer setup from long ago. And this is our auto crafting house. So anytime we ask our applied energistic system to make us something that requires a machine, this is generally where it comes to do it. So it can make all manner of good things for us. And we have a machine to do just about everything. So if I come under here, we got a lot going on under here as well. We were going to work on bees, and I just never got around to it because I really struggled with how to make this work in any kind of a reasonable way. I tried many different things and never could quite get it to work. This, however, works like a champ. This opens up dimensional. When you kill an Enderman, you have an opportunity to get an RF Tools Dimensions. It's a little pack of dimlets, and you have to open it, Well, this guy opens those for us automatically. This guy collects water for us and puts it in buckets or bottles, whatever one we need. And then this guy creates lava for us and then turns that lava into puts it in buckets for us and puts it in our applied energistic system. This guy produces obsidian for us and puts it in our applied energistic system. This guy produces demon ingots for us and puts those in our system. Be quiet, phone. Wouldn't be an Oblyx video without the phone going off at least once. This guy produces meat blocks for us, or meat ingots, goofy as that sounds. And this guy produces milk for us, and both of these, of course, put the stuff right into our applied energistic system. Now here's all that spaghetti I was talking about that makes the 5 times ingots work. So where we put 1 ore here, and then we get 5 ingots out over here, and this is all the nonsense you need to make that work, and it's quite a bit. Videos on all this stuff, by the way. If you want to learn more about this or that or whatever, just go find the appropriate video, and there you go. It'll be somewhere in this Project Ozone series, and I do have a playlist on this, so it'll make it easier to find. This is our mob farm. All goodies from our mob farm come here and then get sorted. All the stuff we don't want, like the swords and the armor and all that garbo, ends up in the trash can. Everything else gets sorted out and sent back into our applied energistic system. The loot bags we actually send over here and have them opened and process the loot out of them back into this table. So this is all mob kills on this side. This is all loot bag loot on this side. And then we process it and send it back into our applied energistic system. Over here we have an automated fisher farm currently turned off. I actually have the block removed, but I can just pop that block back there and it'll produce fish and all fish related blah-de-blahs forever if I so wanted. Then I do have a quantum quarry right here, which we'll go out and harvest resources from a dimension that doesn't actually exist. I've got it off, had it off for a while now, but it's there in the event we need more resources. And this is what I mean by most of mine don't have, or only one of them has an elevator, the rest of them don't. Then we have another Draconic Evolution crafting area right there. Now that's it for the overworld. We haven't done much with the end at all other than go kill dragons and chaos dragons. We haven't done anything with the deep dark other than go there, and we do have a mechanism miner there that's not currently active, but it was there. But we have done quite a bit in the mining dimension, so let's take a look at that stuff. We'll pop over there, and we come out of our portal. We also have a teleporter here. Now this farm is set up, and I've currently got it turned off, but it's set up to produce nothing but singularities for Avarita, and it does a great job at it. Produces lots of them, and it as fast as they can be. They take a huge amount of resources to make them, but it does a decent job. Now here is our ZPE farm. So this is an entire chunk in Minecraft. If I come down to the bottom, every one of these blocks below these cables is a ZPE. So these are all 0-point extractors, and they're basically making free power and then sending that free power back over to the overworld to be dumped into our induction matrix. So get quite a bit of power from there. And if we go back up, this is our fruit tree farm. So every tree in Pam's Harvest Craft is in here, and we set up all of these harvesters to auto harvest every single one of them. So we have all of the vegetables from Pam's Harvest Craft in the overworld and all the fruits here in the mining dimension all combine in our applied energistic system, so we can make any Pam's Harvest Craft food you want. Now this guy is a mob killing apparatus. Any mobs we don't have a way to kill in any other way, such as Oh, what is this? Slime and pigs, rabbits and chickens and sheep and squid and cows. So we turn them on, they get murdificated by the spikes and drop their goodies underneath down here, where they're collected and sent back into our applied energistic system. And that's about all we've done here. There's a, let's see, coming out of the portal, let's see, this way. There's a huge where we were fighting the Wither over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. So there's a huge pit. There's going to be a little rubber banding on the way. Let's pop this chance cube, just because why wouldn't you? Hello. Now I done forgot which way I was heading. Was it this way? Can't remember. I'm probably going the wrong way. Ooh. Yep, definitely going the wrong way. Hi. How you doing? Psst. Over here. Okay. Tell me your secret. What's the secret? I don't hear anything. And you guys that are wondering why he's not blowing up, it's because I have this charm belt on that has a creeper charm. So he can't even see me. It's like I'm not even here. But it loses durability as I murdificate them. Oh, there's a lot of these. Oh, let's pop another one. Okay. Hi, little zombie buddy. Y'all dead. Name chicken. Die, name chicken scum. Anyway, Mirrusky and I popped a bunch of giant chance cubes and isohedrons. Hello, fire. I can't be burned, but nice try. Oh, there's a big old pit down there. Look at that. Nice. I put some chance cubes in your chance cubes. Gotta love when you have chance cubes in your chance cubes. Anyway. Oh, another one. And another one. They're everywhere. I love popping these things. Especially when I'm in indestructible armor. Disco sheep! Nice! I love that one. That's a good one. And, of course, we gotta set it off. Why wouldn't you? It's gonna do horrible things to the sheep. Sorry, guys. Oh, really? Really? I can't be burned, guys. Come on. Oh, I couldn't blow. I couldn't knock down the. I tried to save you. It didn't work. I got some diamonds. Yeah, lava can't hurt me either. So, pretty much indestructible. It's one of the reasons I'm like, yeah, let's just wrap up the series, because it can't really be hurt. And I don't know, it just gets kind of bleh after that. Clean out the old inventory. Didn't I see another one? I did, right there. Right, you can just stay yourself on the ground. Okay, so it is over this way. And boom, there we go. You see all the destruction we've wrought. Now, this is where I was fighting tons and tons of withers. There's where we've completely removed a chunk from the world, including the bedrock. There's where we turned underground into the Nether. There's where we turned the Overworld into a aquarium. Because, yeah, why wouldn't you? I think there were squid in here, if I remember right. There's where we made a desert. A little lava pit. Another chunk we removed from the world that actually we just flipped it upside down. Did a couple of those. The end. Made the end over here. Oh wow, we have lava that is, for whatever reason, holding itself completely normal. Doesn't want to flow. What else? A lot of craziness over here. Fly through lava than water real quick from our upside down chunk. Sphere of, what is this? Aluminum, I think. Yeah. We've done a lot of weirdness over here one day. Let's head on back. There we go. But I do think that is all the time I got for today, and all the time I have for this world. It is time for us, well, to say goodbye and move on to other things. I sure have appreciated you guys coming and hanging out with me on this series. It has been a lot of fun, and you guys have had some fantastic suggestions. And hopefully you'll come hang out with me on the next series, which should be coming out any day now. I'm working on getting it together as we speak. So, until we get on with the new series, you guys get out there and make some noise. See ya.